Well, actually, I should tell you, I'm obviously a party judge since I was at Jazz Fest. I just got back from the Kentucky Derby, so we don't work in my little third world country. I don't know why they invited me here, but I call it a third world country because it's Louisiana and because I'm from New Orleans. And we incarcerate more people than anywhere else in the entire world. The entire world. 1 in every 75 Louisianians is in prison. That's 2 times more than the national average. So, what do? You lock them all up. Is that going to fix it? Interestingly, in Louisiana, our crime rate is still, we're in the top 10 of all violent crimes in this nation, even though our incarceration rate is the highest in the nation. So if that's not working, what are we going to do? We cannot arrest and convict and incarcerate our way out of the crime problem in Louisiana. So this is kind of where I come in. I was a defense lawyer, I was a prosecutor, now I'm a judge. So now 5 days a week I put people in jail. Isn't that great? Now I'm helping the system. So I decided there was something else that could be done. I had spent time at the prison. I saw that we have more lifers, and I mean spending life without benefit of probation, parole, or suspension of sentence. The only way you get out is a pardon. Pardons are like threading a camel through the eye of a needle. We don't give pardons in Louisiana. So we have 6,000 inmates at Louisiana State Penitentiary, which is called The Farm, if you've seen those documentaries. It's infamous, famous, all kind of movies are filmed there. And they have this, because everybody in New Orleans and in Louisiana, we're all characters. We have this great character who's Warden Burl Cain. I went to Warden Cain after I became a judge and I said, I have this great idea. I know you have all these resources of these lifers that aren't ever getting out of prison, so why don't we put them to work and do something different? I would like to send people to prison and they mentor them. They train them, they parent them, they teach them, they give them social skills. Yes, social skills from life incarcerated inmates. These are people that have been in prison 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, 45 years, and 50 years. With no chance of getting out of prison, we pitched the idea, the warden took it, and the inmates were thrilled. This gives the inmates an opportunity to actually parent some young criminals that are going to be returning back to society because I'm selecting who goes in the program. So I select at the time of the crime and at sentencing, if they're pleading guilty, if they want to go in the program, they have to plead guilty. The sentence is 10 years or less. I sentence everybody to 10 years because I want them to have the maximum amount holding over their head. They cannot be multiple billed because we multiple bill in our state. The prosecution is somewhat cooperative, and so they do not multiple bill in those cases, but they reserve the right to multiple bill them later. So this gives them an incentive to do well in the program. Has to be a non-violent crime, non-sex related. I put them in for 10 years, they have to get their GED, and then they go in for intense programming in the program. Sadly, this program is only for men at this point in Louisiana, but I'll start anywhere. So this was a crazy thing. I said, this is either going to be a fantastic hit or a great way to get me out of office. So I was re-elected without opposition at the last time I've been in office, 8 years. I started the program in 2010. One visit with the warden and it happened. One visit at the legislature, it was enacted. It's just one of those things that's been really amazing. So they go to the prison, they have to get their GED. They have a social mentor, they move. We took 2 units at the prison that was not being filled with other inmates, move the mentor inmates that have special training, move them in, they live with them. They're assigned a social mentor, a vocational mentor, and an educational mentor. They have to get their GED. They have to go through all kind of pre-release programming. They go through drug treatment at the beginning and then at the end. The inmates get pretty serious with them. They're like, you've got to do good because you're the ones that's going to make it change the whole system. And that's what's happening. So once they go into the program, they stay 2 years, sometimes more. I had a young man that got out recently and he never thought he could learn to read and he got his GED. And while they're in the prison, they are being trained by lifers that have certification in different fields. Automotive, welding, plumbing, there's 27 of them. Eyeglasses, culinary arts, horticulture for spring chemicals and things like that. They have to get 2 levels of certification. These are national certifications. And once they get those 2 certifications, then the prison gives me a recommendation with a big folder that says they're ready to come home. I do a video conference from my court with the inmate and with the lifers, their mentors, and they say, you know, Judge, we think they're ready to come home. If I agree, then they come back, I suspend the remainder of their sentence, and then I monitor them for 5 years, myself and a probation officer. I bring them to court monthly, sometimes more often. The probation officer sees them in between, and they come in my chambers, and I invite the community. I have a banker that comes regularly because he loans the money. I have ministers that come, I have drug people that come, I have ex-offenders that come. Now the prison brings 2 of the lifers that sits there and tells us whether they think they're doing well, and it becomes sort of a group therapy. So I'm going to show you a video, and the video is about to start. This is Louisiana State Penitentiary. You're going to see everyone on this video has a life sentence unless they're a mentee. Hit it.
My name is John Sheehan. I'm an inmate at the Louisiana State Penitentiary. Right now, I'm currently the automotive instructor for the Louisiana Technical College system. We're averaging an 84% success rate on all our ASE certification tests.
Well, you know, you're learning a lot of stuff that you can use. Like, some people ain't never had a job and stuff like that, so by them learning this type of stuff, they really could go out there on the streets and be successful in life. It's giving a chance to a lot of people who never had one.
This program gives you a lot of good opportunities. And people should take advantage of this while we're here instead of wasting our life, you know, and going back and not knowing nothing.
I'm from Hammond, Louisiana, and I'm the instructor over the concrete finishing school here in Angola, Louisiana. I got like 14 years of experience in concrete finishing. I've really been doing it all my life. I have a total of 8 students.
It's a little different from the average occupation because it's both mentally and physically challenging. So the experience that we get in here and the education we get is going to be more beneficial to us as far as obtaining employment out in society.
So, you know, we take these guys as they come and we work with them and we show them, you know, look, you know, it's not just about learning this and thinking, well, could I do it? They're able to do it because we do the work here.
I've been in the program for approximately 13 months now. Before I came here, I was kind of headed down the wrong path and making some bad decisions. And I got a chance to actually learn myself a trade for once and kind of make something out of myself to be a more productive citizen when I get out there.
It's enjoyable, and it's also very, very educational. I get to earn a trade and take that and utilize that trade to become successful once I get released from this prison.
I really like it. But I'm going to go out there and finish completing my trade, take level 3 and 4, and I'm going to be a licensed plumber.
Well, it's one of the things like we teach guys in here, you know, as convicted felons, we can never go and undo the crime that we've committed. And so instead of running away from that aspect and trying to shield it, you know, we try to teach guys to be transparent and upfront with it. And so in other words, you know, not that you shouldn't hire me because I'm an ex-felon, but that you should hire me because I'm a felon. And that I'm going to work harder for you than what your average employee will, because number one, I've tasted what's on the other side and I don't ever want to return. The second is that I know I have to work twice as hard as the next man to prove myself and to maintain.
This is my goal in life now. This is what I want to be, and I want to take it, and I want to become further. I want to continue to further my education each and every day.
This program has helped me, gave me a whole different outlook, because if I wouldn't have came here, I probably would have went out there and do the same thing. And now, you know, it giving me an opportunity where I can just actually know in my heart that I ain't never coming back to jail, that I can go out here and make an honest living. This is what this program giving me.
This is Montrell Stidley, everybody. Fill me in. What do we need to know about Montrell?
Well, what's the status of your driver's license?
I told you you had to have it today.
Yeah, but see...
What about driving school? Let's get to the issue.
The driving school is not the problem. I just owe $200 more on that.
So how long have you been in this program without a driver's license?
Since October of 13. trying my best. It's just the financial part.
You're not trying your best when you don't have a driver's license after a year and a half. I've been hearing this since October of last year, and you're not the type I want in the program. Tiger, this is Larry Thomas.
How are you?
Rich Hurts.
Larry
Thomas, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Larry.
Tell them what they said.
Because you're setting a good example out there for the program to represent the free entry program. But Rich Hurts really likes you.
Awesome.
Business manager's really pleased that he signed on to this program with the building trades, and so anyway, we got great reviews from you.
What's happening? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Job's going well. I signed up with the union hall. I'm getting tutored to brush up on my math skills a little bit before I take the aptitude test so I can get an apprenticeship school.
How's your father?
He's doing well.
You still living with him?
Yes, ma'am. He's working at Allstate, selling insurance.
You're a little calmer. Think you're calming down?
Yeah.
Larry had the weight of the world. He thought he had to be perfect for everybody. You sort of do, but you're handling that pressure again.
Yeah, I'm handling the pressure.
It's just your own pressure.
Yeah, in my own head, correct.
You drive right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Have your own car?
I'm driving my dad's vehicle. He has like 2-3 vehicles.
That's why I'm just checking.
Good.
Thank you, Larry. This program gets no funding. We don't cost the taxpayers anything.